for those watching on live stream. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order at 2:00 on the dot. All right, roll call, Steve.
Here.
Katie. Here. Lana.
Here.
Penny. Sarah.
Here.
All right, and Lindsay and Andy are, I know Andy's gonna be absent for sure, and I'm not sure about Lindsay. Sometimes she joins online. Oh,
She's traveling right now, back to Colorado.
cool. So Lindsay will not be here. Thank you, Jess. Alrighty, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Katie, and a second.
Second.
All right, Tara. All right, did everybody on the board get a chance to review the minutes from the 13th?
Yes.
Cool, any questions on the minutes? Need a motion to approve.
Motion.
All right, Katie, and a second.
Second.
Tara, thank you guys. All right, I have a scheduled public comment from Argo.
Yes. I know you're all wondering what's happening here.
I'm wondering how you are.
I'm alive. I feel a little bit like I'm in the Twilight Zone because it's like so much in limbo. We will not be having the public opening this week. It's because of the elevator is not delivered and we can't have our certificate of occupancy without that, as well as we don't have the official license for the gondola cabins. We debated about having a quote unquote private party with just the governor and our investors and keep that on Friday, whatever that it is, the 24th. But we can't bring the public up. So we thought, why, if we can't bring the public, do we do this? Anything else we should add to that, Rose? I mean, it's like licensing. If we allow city public on it, it's illegal. So we're hoping we have our elevator license, our license by Wednesday or Thursday, but that doesn't give us time to announce. And we put the governor off for at least a week. As soon as we know that we're licensed, we'll re-announce a new Locals Day public opening and all of that. And we still intend on a ribbon cutting. Things are looking beautiful. I have written it because I'm an owner, but the public can't write it. And we still are on target for the prom, May 8th. All of that is great. Sadie still has her leadership group coming up April 30th because we're confident we'll be licensed within the next week, but we just can't authorize it. And then May 5th, we still have the state tourism office having their special media event up here on May 5th. So we're moving all kinds of dates around. And does anybody have any questions? We really didn't want to cancel the governor and everyone else.
What about the bike trails?
That's gonna be decided by the end of the day today.
Right.
So they are working internally. I think as of right now, they're still planning on reopening the bike trails, even if the gondola is not
But
running.
not to the gondola, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, we had planned on having a demonstration bike thing on Wednesday and contractor, but all of that is postponed because if we can't have public on, we certainly can't have bikes and public on. But the trails may be reopened.
On Saturday. As of right now, the trails are scheduled to reopen Saturday. We'll know officially about the trails reopening on Saturday by the end of the day today.
And I wanted to announce that Rose is now technically the hub of all information for Mighty Argo.
All right.
So if there's any question, she's the one, and of course, I'll be always here, and Sadie knows a lot of it because the City of Idaho Springs and Argo have been working really great in keeping the information correct. But Rose is the point person for the whole Mighty Argo experience. And as I mentioned before, we're not advertising separate mill and separate cable car. It's all one Mighty Argo experience. Any other comments, Rose?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
So you guys will see being Rose at these meetings, so she'll be kind of attending from the Argos perspective. And then for those of you that have event questions or activation questions or referrals, partnerships, all that,
Yeah, we'll all funnel. through
stop
that.
asking me,
Yeah.
start asking her.
Exactly. I will all take all media questions, all event questions, all activation
Yeah.
questions, will now all go through.
And you will be seeing sort of timid press releases because we don't know. Right now, we're saying that it's open to the public on May 9th. It's the day after prom, but we know that it'll be open before that. So we're saying limited tickets are for sale for now, but just watch what's happening. And we know there's consternation about pricing and blah, 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 but all of that is just in the middle of getting open right now. Chuck, did you have any
I
questions?
did. Can people actually go and secure a ticket or
Yes,
they can?
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
right now tickets are fully live.
But we're saying May 9th is the first public day,
Gotcha.
even though we're hoping that we'll open that sooner.
They're also
You can go
limited,
for-
correct, Mary Jane?
Pardon?
The tickets are currently limited. There's only a limited number
Yeah,
available.
yeah.
So then I would assume that pricing is out.
Pricing is out and I'm not gonna comment on it because there's a lot of comments on it. But it's within what we talked about.
All right, very good.
And there's a whole bunch of people influencing our ticket pricing,
Oh, boy, okay.
which is good. And of course, local residents are free.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's still gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, that's part of the deal.
Is it local residents to Idaho Springs or
Yes.
Clear Creek County?
Idaho Springs.
Mary Jane, I did one real quick comment, if I may, and that is that, this is a $71 million investment. The investors frankly need a return on that. We have to respect that. And, I think that, wherever you settle out on the pricing, is gonna be appropriate.
Yeah, and we wanna make it very accessible to families. And we're already getting group requests,
Mhm.
all kinds of things, and if you've noticed, the press that we've gotten is very positive.
Yeah.
So we just wanna keep that up and,
Something I've heard a lot in the internal conversations is that what you have released right now is kind of like just initial phase one. That there
Right.
will be changes to the pricing, that there will be additional packages and things available. They're just not there yet. Because you guys are going slow, limiting your
including our parking and all of that
Yeah.
stuff, it's just like,
slow roll.
I don't know how slow it will be once we open, but
Can't control that.
yeah. Kind
And so are you still intending to have you just don't know when it's gonna be before May?
Yes, already heading,
You'll
yes,
still have, you're
yes.
still trying to work with the governor.
Yeah, but
and
see,
do
that's the
revision.
total, we'll have the public and the Free Idaho Springs and still hoping to do it in the same,
Same manner as.
Same
what
manner,
she's been
yeah,
planning with.
and the VIP, the governor and all that. Because we think that's really important and we want to have kids included.
But you can't make that decision until, you have an elevator.
And a lift license.
Okay.
Which should be very soon, but
You just don't.
the intent is to do all of that the same. I mean,
I will tell you that Mary Jane pushed very, very hard to keep everything on time. And she fought an uphill battle where she was standing on an island. And she fought really hard. And, I think the best thing is that she's fighting for the locals of Idaho Springs and the experience that this is something for everybody here in this community, from the businesses to all of us that have put a lot of work into it. So it's just a process. And there's a lot, again, a lot of people don't know this, but it's not just you in charge of this decision. You have a board that you now report to.
we had
and-
our Austrians and Swiss over here this last weekend.
So this is a board decision
They
and
stayed
Mary
at the
Jane is
club,
just
right?
one voice on a board of many.
It's like 6 weeks that you were, like, you've been going fast.
What?
I feel like it's been going fast.
It has
since
been.
You've been fully staffed with it.
It has been, and we've hired so many locals. It's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
think 70% of the people we've hired are probably local.
But construction delays can only be helped so much, so we are doing the best that we can to,
You guys also had 2 days of snow last week that did not help you.
that, yes.
Right. So it's gonna be amazing. It is amazing.
Great. I know you have to jet,
I
but,
do.
okay. Any other questions for Mary Jane? Rose will be here, but any? All right,
All
thanks,
right.
MJ.
Thanks, Rose.
Okay, those are my only scheduled public comment. Anybody in the audience want a public comment unscheduled? Go for it. Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
I wanna add
plug.
one more
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
Just because Chuck reminded me of it, our investors, of course, want to be open as soon as they can to make revenue. And that's what you were saying. So we're not, it's a little battle between ops and revenue and all that, but it's happened. Great. Thanks, Rose. She's the one.
All right.
I'll make my quick shameless plug. Comedy show at Slaymaker Cellars, Sunday night, doors at 7:30. Show starts at 8. Tickets are on the QR code. And just so you know, Kent, myself, and all of our coworkers, we've been trying to get working towards regular events at Slaymaker Cellars, and Kent and I are fans of comedy, so we've been trying to make some more comedy happen. We had a really successful show in March, and now we have our April show. We also got the details last minute, so I know my publicity's pretty quick.
I did get you up on the website today. Sorry
Okay,
for the
today.
delay.
Okay,
And you're on our website and our social media
okay,
as well.
wonderful. And then we put it up on our stuff, and if anyone wants to grab a poster, feel free to hang it up at your place of business. Tara already put one up. Sadie, there's already one in your shop. Yes.
Winning.
Steve, I already put one up. The Tommy Knocker. Yeah. But thank you, anybody else. So feel free to grab one if you. And
What day was it again?
Sunday, April 26th.
Yes.
Of course.
Thanks.
Yeah, so thanks for humoring me on my shameless plug.
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, moving on, I'm gonna go to the director's report. So a couple of things that Steve and I have been working really hard on, and that is consistency in the social media. And as we started to do some paid streaming, we started to see a lot of buildup and consistency of follows, also with Argo and the collab posts between Argo and Comba and Visit. We've seen a significant increase in our followers and our traffic, which then means that it's time for us to get super consistent on our content. And as you guys know, I am a team of one, and it is a lot of work. It is a significant amount of work for me. And I met a wonderful, amazing local business. I met a local amazing business owner. His name is Matt. He lives right on Floyd Hill. He is a digital media and social media person. He's worked for content creation for many years, and now he's going out on his own. He's volunteered a lot of his time so far. He did give me a proposal, but obviously as a board, we did not budget for social media. So I was straight with it. I was like, I got no budget for social media. Would love to hire you, however, I don't have a budget. And he was like, well, I want to build my reputation in this community. Can I volunteer some time and some tools that will help you kind of build some good opportunities? And I was like, yeah, if you want to volunteer, like nobody, like I'm not going to be like, no. So I had him volunteer, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. He built us this really cool app. This is essentially a content management app, which is really nice. And he volunteered and built us a social media reset. And so many of you have seen those posts going up. So he put all of these posts in here. They're very easy for me to then look at. They have my hashtags and all my descriptions right here. I then hit open in Google Drive, and it immediately goes to the content in which he captured. This is all brand new content for us. And it's very good. Since we started using him, our engagement since I've been using his content and his stuff, our engagement has significantly increased. Again, it's a really easy to use system. I'm really grateful for it. It keeps a schedule. There's a lot of things that are really important about social media strategy. And I don't really know how to make this better for you to see, but he put together this presentation for you guys. Let's see if I can get it. Will that do that on there though? No. Oh, wait, yes. Oh, thank you, Rose. So this is kind of his strategy. Grow the audience, share the town's story, shift the perception from quick stop to spend time and money, access them for all. Again, from a media perspective, it's really important to create consistent content, repeatable visitation that supports year-round visitation. We kind of worked through a bunch of different models, and what Steve and I kind of finally came up with was the idea of a social media co-op. I modeled this after the Colorado State Tourism Office does a social media co-op. I talked to them about it. It allows some of our businesses who might not be able to afford a large scale social media brand rep to get access to that at a much lower price and share content as well as share traffic with each other, as well as visit Idaho Springs to create more consistency and long-term strategy in our posting. He did a brand reset, check out the Instagram and the reels. He's done several reels for us as well as a whole new facade to our stories or to our page layout.
And you keep all the content.
And you gotta keep all the content. So something he wanted me to make sure I point out to you guys is he's been in the digital media industry for about 15 years. And I went through with him everything that I do. From newsletter to website to social media to everything. And he said, on an annual value, you guys are getting about $1 million in digital media content from me doing it myself. And it takes a lot of my time. And it's not consistent because I can't devote to it as much as I want. And I'm at the point where we really do need the extra support because we're getting a lot of eyes and a lot of comments and a lot of people. And that's just going to continue to get more and more and
So
more.
is he producing the content, but then you're still scheduling it out?
Correct.
Or so he's not doing that part yet, he's just creating the content?
He's creating everything in that dashboard and giving me a recommended schedule of posting. And then all I have to do is go in there and post it myself.
And you'll get a pitch from him from us as well.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we've used every different form or fashion of these guys, and normally it's $2,000 a month. These guys want to do the scheduling part. They schedule the post, the kind of post it is, maybe some verbiage to go with it, and they give that to you and you can schedule that. That's $2,000 a month. But what they don't do is create content. That's another blah, blah, blah amount of money, depending on what kind of content you want. This guy, it's rare to find. We've had a couple of them over the years that actually create the content and do all the strategy, branding part of it, make sure it aligns with your goals and post it and and schedule the post.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's gonna want $2,000 a month, I'm guessing. I met with him separately from you, and I think he's good, and he's local because he can come to the events then locally and create the content and then post on it immediately.
So obviously from the visit board, we don't have $2,000 a month to pay for him right now. So Steve and I got creative and looked at the budget, and we have 5,000 right now that right now is scheduled in miscellaneous organizational requests. And I think at this current moment in time, what I'm recommending is we devote that into the co-op, get him going and started, and then launch a co-op program, which would give businesses an opportunity to buy in, which could stream him out for the rest of the year. And then he would be able to finish the year. And then when we're looking at budget for next year, I do think it would show in the engagement and the return that we would probably want to continue. But I think that with a $5,000 investment from us, and there are some other businesses that I know could buy in, and what we would do is model it after what CTO does for their co-op, is he would put all the content through that portal. I would then create a Drive link for every business that participates so that the Drive business would get access to that social media content. You get the raw footage that he creates to do with it as you want. Then you would get a certain number of collaborative posts per month that would be, I'm just going to use Steve as an example. So Tommy Knockers wants to pay $500 a month. They would get 4 reels that would be co-sponsored. It would be Visit Idaho Springs and Tommy Knocker as a collaborative reel, all produced by Matt Matt would upload all the raw footage to a Google Drive, and then Tommyknockers has access to all that raw footage to use how they want to produce extra content, to use on other marketing platforms,
And you do too, so in
I
the
do as
future, if
well.
you need some,
marketing material
Yeah,
for
you just
paid
go and use it.
advertising, we have all of that extra footage. So I do think also when we get down into starting on to work on the History Colorado grant, we also might have some extra money to throw towards Matt for marketing and advertising for more content when it comes to building that history walking tour when Dylan and I are finally there. But right now, we could move in that direction. I kind of lined out what Steve and I walked through with Matt for the co-op in the director's report. Is there any questions on what I'm thinking about there?
I wanna comment, he was really easy to work with. He was like not invasive, got a ton of content in my story randomly. And it was gorgeous. He was like really easy to talk to. He made me feel really comfortable. Like he was very personable.
Yeah, he was amazing. The Mother's Day reel that we did for Tara for flowers got great engagement and did really, really well.
Like
And
I wasn't even expecting him to be there and he did an amazing job.
I can say the same thing, because after he showed me the presentation, I noticed there wasn't any Tommyknocker footage. I said, it's kind of interesting, you wonder if there's nothing from Tommyknockers on there, if you're gonna pitch me, it'd be good if there's some stuff on there. And then the meeting was over, then I walked through the business and an hour later, and there he was, taking pictures, and by the time he left 2 hours later, he was like friends with all the employees. He was like all like high-fiving them, and he's got a great personality.
He's a cool dude.
he's really cool. Again, he's local. He's building a business as well. So obviously he's stepping out of working for a digital media firm and he's going on his own. So it's a big step for him. He's worked for a creative agency for a very long time and he's very excited about what's happening in our community. He reached out to me because he's excited, not coming to sell me anything. And again, everything he's done so far, I have paid him $0 for. Which
What
is
is the frequency that you're hoping to post that he'll be able to help you get to?
Yeah, so 4 times a week is the goal. And then of 2 of those being reels and 2 of those being stock stack posts. So that will get us to way more. And the consistency is the problem. Right now I post super sporadically and all over the place. If Jess is like, oh, cool, look, something's snowing. And I'm like, cool, send me a video. And then I put something together really quickly. And, you know, this is again, strategic based off of our marketing plan, based off of our initiatives, based off of our pillars and goals. Like, this is what we need that I can't provide.
And so then if we grow him into that, I totally support this. I think that's a great idea. I'm just asking some
No,
questions.
please
To
ask.
understand where it can grow to.
Uh-huh.
Because from what I understand, maybe even 4 times, it's like you almost have to do it daily, right?
Yeah.
You have to be interacting with it on a daily basis to really make it super effective.
Yep.
And so would that be the ultimate goal at some point for 2027 is that when we had the money in the budget, we would go
Yes,
to, okay.
exactly. That would be my goal, is to work towards having more of a budget for him in 2027 and still offer the co-op
Mhm.
in addition to bolster it, because I do think having a $250 buy-in for a business, like from Spice and Tea's perspective, I will totally sign up for that. Because
Yeah.
I can't afford, I can't even afford a $500 social media person right now. So $250 to get some consistency on my page. And then again, the key is that cross promotion. So like when I do a collaborative post with Tara, then both of our audiences see it and it extends our reach. And we do have some businesses in this community that have big reaches. And so if we're collaborating on those kind of things, we're really hitting the whole market in a way that we aren't currently hitting without those collaborations.
So the $250 a month, that gets you 2 reels and 2 posts for the month, right? But then you get access to additional content. Because when I read that, I'm like, well, 2 and 2, I get it's something more, but it's still not
Yeah,
necessarily.
but it gives you access to that content that you
get
could then
more than you
create
used to.
your
Right.
own stuff off of.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Because it will be smaller too, where you're getting like on hires, but if you get more, then you can use all of it.
Yeah.
If you could do like the $500.
No, even if you do the
No.
250, like what he, like,
Like it was like 2 seconds of me, whereas like you probably took 2 minutes, so I could use all.
yeah,
Right, you get the raw footage to be able to do it. I just wanna make sure that it makes sense, that it's worth it, you know, at the price. So
Yeah.
that was just my only question.
And in the past, we paid $2,000 a month for 3 posts a week. And then the data analytics come with it monthly. So it tells you, you know, how many clicks or whatever.
Any other questions on the social co-op? It will be an action item for approval from the board if we're gonna go that way. Okay, moving on, brand asset rollout stuff. Influencer partnerships are going well. Jonah is my rock star helping me with this at Club Hotel. I am so grateful for his help. We have someone coming up, May 4th. She's gonna be coming up. She's gonna meet Steve's burro. Steve's gonna loan her a burro. She'll also be coming for burro races at the end of the month, so we'll get her 2 times in May. Once the beginning for more of a Idaho Springs is your easy mountain escape feel, with a slight preview of Argo, hopefully, and then Steve getting to be cute with the burro. And that will window and preview into burro races. And so she will also be back up for burro races, and she will be walking, what's the burro's name?
Helper.
Oh, Thumper. So how cute is that? So I'm super grateful for everybody on those partnerships. Her itinerary is going out, so if you'd like her to stop by on May 5th for any reason and you want to offer her something, you just reach out to me and we will make sure she gets on her itinerary. She only has the 1 day on May 5th or on May 4th. So we got a pretty condensed schedule. But if you want to have her stop by and do anything, you just let me know and I will make sure she knows. I don't have our results yet, but board expect to see our OTT and CTV click results for March by the end of this week. Our media rep was out of town all last week, so she didn't get my email until today. So we will have our first analytics on our paid marketing. However, what I can tell you is we have seen a significant increase in our clicks on the website as well as our social media. So I am seeing that momentum from those videos that are currently playing on the streaming platforms. I had a merch segment for Great Day Colorado, went really well in studio. We are going to go ahead and push our April segment into May, and we're going to push our May segment to Furlings Fest. So we're going to kind of just rotate those a little bit just based off of the Argos timeline, so that we can do a East End on-site shoot. Most of our Great Day Colorado segments have been shot downtown. We're going to shoot this segment from Cooper Riley Park and show walkability and the yards and some of the cool other businesses on the East End and the food trucks. Print edition of the Thirst magazine got approved and went out. This is what it looks like. Scan the QR code and it goes to our website. So this is in the print edition of Thirst, and then they're scheduling, actually they doubled. They were supposed to give us 3 social media posts, and now we're getting 6 social media posts, and those will start in May. So we'll get 3 in May and then 3 in June for Thirst. So that's pretty exciting. Nothing much to update on trash cans yet. I finally think I have a good design, and we're working on just getting the correct photography from the Historical Society to make sure we're all having the right resolution. Resolution with our historical photos is a challenge. So we're just making sure we have the right resolution of the right historical photos to get that going. The Fieldhouse postcards. Rose, did you get your Fieldhouse postcard? Rose moved into the Fieldhouse apartments and she got her first Fieldhouse postcard. I'm tracking the clicks on that page, and we are seeing a few. You don't have very many neighbors yet, do you?
I think I have like 1.
So as they start to get more residents, we expect to see those clicks. If you want to offer the Fieldhouse anything exclusive, please reach out to me. Grant updates. Jess, do you want to give us a quick little Trails to Towns update, Grant?
Yeah, I met with the CTO last week and we're slightly behind right now just because we're still aligning on some of our concepts. Idaho Springs is already cleared. Their copy is being finalized, drafted. I think Ember's taking a look at it with me on Thursday of this week, and then it'll be sent out to the towns. After that, we're really just trying to finalize our marketing strategy while Ember, the design company on the back end, gets us something beautiful to look at. I just met with Happy Llama not too long ago and have paper for us to decide and a couple things for our design committee to meet. There'll be a meeting email going out soon, just because we've been in a little bit of a limbo with one of our concepts in an area. So as soon as I get clarification on that Thursday, hopefully we're moving forward. The deadline to have this print and starting to distribute it is in July. We do have till September in our deadline, but we have all year to get this project done and we want it done right. I was working on your copy today and I need your opinion on the baby doll heads. Other than that, everything else is drafted pretty nicely for Idaho
See-
Springs.
For those of you that don't know that we have architecture within town where there's tiny little baby doll heads that are hidden within our architecture. And they're really fun little points of contact to find. And they're all within the historic district, which loops people into the businesses. So it is pretty cool. There's some within businesses, there's some out on the streets. So if you don't know where they are, I will always be one to try to tell you where they are. I only know where 3 of them are and there's apparently 5. So I have 2 more. Mayor Bob Bullen says he can tell me where the other 2 are.
Okay, we'll get it out of them.
Yeah, somebody is gonna tell it. I got 3, but there's apparently 5, so we'll go for that. Sponsorships for events. Interstate has finally committed to their sponsorship for the season at $3,500. So a lot less than I expected, but grateful for their sponsorship nonetheless. So that brings us to 8,500 for our sponsorship. My goal was 10. So I'm gonna hunt a little bit more and find a little bit more and we'll hit that $10,000 event sponsorship mark for our event season. The 2026 event calendar is finalized and you guys will start seeing those flyers and event posters starting to go up. Like these are the Thursday Market on Minor ones. This is the full season. So you guys will start seeing those events, the Furling Fest, everything is starting to get posted on the website, Facebook, and spreading that, the Clear Cleanup flyer. So all that is starting to go live and we are kind of in the final stages. Obviously, Minor Street is closed for street curb painting. And if you have filled out your activation permit and you're ready to go, you can start setting up tomorrow. Obviously the weather this weekend is not great, but it's ready to get started and get set up, and then May will be a beautiful season for it. Argo, I obviously this ribbon cutting date in my director's report is incorrect because this was submitted before all the things changed. So TBD on the ribbon cutting. We are grateful to say that CC Tourism Bureau and CCEDC and us sponsored a tote bag, which will have all of our information in it to be giving out throughout the opening process. They'll be here tomorrow. I was hoping to have one to show you because they are really pretty. But we'll be giving them out at the ribbon cutting, we'll be giving them out at our CTO event, and then we'll be giving them out at outside days. So these will be great opportunities if your business wants to put anything in these give bags, let me know. If you want to be more event specific, say you only want to give at the media event, there I can do packages for the media event. If you only want to give to say what we're giving out at outside days, let me know. We have target numbers for each of those, so just let me know if you want to get into those bags. The tourism board and CCEDC and us will have a postcard in there that will each link to our, it's gonna link to Jess's website, it's gonna link to our website. I don't know what CCEDC wants to do besides say that we helped, they helped, and that they're there to support. So that postcard will be in each one of the bags as well.
Sadie, what's the deadline for stuff going in the bag?
Depends on which event you want to go to. So the CTO, the 5th event is the first one that probably and most likely will also be the ribbon cutting event, and that will be the 1st of May would be the deadline for that event. To stuff those bags by the 5th. Yeah. Versus like, give me more time.
How many bags do you have?
For the CTO event, we're only going to need 30. There'll be 30 media at the CTO event. So that will be 30 media for the CTO event, and then the ribbon cutting will be more around 100 VIP bags for the ribbon cutting event. The date on that obviously is TBD, and then Outside Fest is the rest of those bags, and that's gonna be till they're gone. So if my math correctly will probably be more like in the 300 range of bags. So those are all the fun things for the bags. Virgo races are coming around. Like I said, Steve's got a fun borough gonna walk in it. I need to get with Amy, on our little mini activation family fun zone for the
Oh,
borough
yeah.
races.
Gotcha.
She's
I was like, what?
what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little family fun zone to kind of spread out, the borough races to make sure that it feels more full encompassing for, all of town. Sad news bears, no fireworks. 4th of July, not happening. Jeremy Jones has made the decision that as our fire marshal and fire chief, he will not be approving a fire permit this year or a fireworks permit this year. Doesn't matter if conditions change, he's not going to do it. So Steve, Mayor, Andy, Guy, and I, and Mike's caricature Mike, he's gonna be helping a little bit with events. We're gonna be meeting in the first part of May to talk about alternative ideas. There is no drone show companies that are available. Everybody is booked. No laser light show companies that are available. They're already booked. So at this point in time, we have very limited options on what we might be able to do. Jess is looking like she's got an idea in her brain.
I'm always the stargazer. I've got the company with like 4 telescopes, do something else, but
I'm open to all ideas. So if anybody has a grand idea for what to do, I was like, we could put a laser light show in the gondola cabins and run them up the mountain. I mean, I don't know. Rose is like, no. Flashlight, yeah, no, flashlight parade. You know, some ideas that have been thrown around are like a big water balloon fight, a community water balloon fight. We've also talked about a color run, or a color bomb fight, the foam color things. Part of the problem is that even though we're not spending that fireworks money, that doesn't mean we can spend that fireworks money. So we don't really have a ton of money.
Use the budget.
$0. No. What?
It's like 25.
So the fireworks, we spend $27,000 on. Per fireworks contract, what happens is that rolls over to the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Meaning that Small Business Saturday, we'll have fireworks. We've done this before. It's a fun winter event. Jeremy did tell me though, that if we have a very dry summer and we don't get a ton of moisture, he's not gonna approve it for then either. So he's feeling pressure by city council, correct, Mayor?
Well, a couple of members.
Yeah. There's concerns about how dry it is. I think we're all fair in the same boat. It's very dry. Everybody's worried about water. Nobody wants to start a fire on our mountain. That, I get it. But if we can't spend it on 4th of July or the Small Business Saturday, we have to pay them anyway.
What?
Yeah. So that's per the fireworks contract that we've signed. There might be a way for us to get some of that money. I'm working on that contract right now, but unfortunately that contract has already been signed and executed, so there's not too much we can do about it. So what we have budgeted is money for music. Outside of money for music, we have the fundraising money, so that gives us about $8,500 of stuff that we can do other things with on 4th of July. So it's not a lot. So without fireworks, it's not a huge draw. Amy?
Do you want ideas now or later?
Later, yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Brainstorm, throw them at me. Another one that's challenging to talk about, rapid rest. This is fastly deteriorating and becoming very challenging. I don't have any good answers for this right now. Mark called me like literally Rapid Grass Mark called me about 5 minutes before we're starting, so I did not answer his phone call. Board, I will send you an update via email on that. I'm gonna just take that offline for right now, cause my brain hurts. Okay, another interesting conversation, and I think. Oh, Jada hasn't been able to stay on, it looks like she's been on and off, but Jada, who is Timberline Pastries, brought some areas of concern up to me around some pretty challenging conversations around the food trucks. Her food truck has been vandalized on the East End. She's been harassed. I have gotten several very challenging emails from community members around the food trucks. City Council has approved, number one, there's unlimited food truck licenses. However, there are 5 designated and approved food truck spaces on the east end of Idaho Springs, no food trucks within the downtown district. City Council has approved 5 food truck spaces. This is a City Council policy. They approved it a long time ago. I think it's probably something we need to focus about having a community meeting on the east end that will also talk about VCamp and Argo stuff. I think it's time for a meeting on the east end to talk about that. I will write up a thing that talks about the food truck policy and what it is, but apparently there's some very contentious and negative energy going around about it. And there was a community post that had over 300 comments and people being really hateful, and these are new businesses. These are people that live in our community who are just trying to build businesses. None of them are really in direct competition with anybody. They all do great things.
The posts are mostly just people who don't want food trucks.
Correct. That are saying that they're driving business away from our restaurants. And taking up parking spots.
And like, that it wasn't, they're like, what is the permit, blah, blah, blah. It was
Yeah.
like a long.
It was a long and very
Nasty.
very nasty. And then right after that post, Jada got her tail lights on her food truck smashed out. So like, I just think this is another moment in time where like, this is great for the transparency thing, where the community conversations have been really great for being really clear about what the policy is and where we stand on that. And that if people want to make a change to that, they can obviously come here and talk to us, and then we can make a recommendation to City Council. The recommendation of having no food trucks in the downtown district came from this board. So there are no spaces for food trucks within the historic district. They're only on the east end, where traditionally there have not been as many active restaurants or open spaces for people to eat and enjoy on that end. So one of our food truck owners is here.
Yeah, we are in Golden Road, and it's been awesome. We've met so many great community members and are taking lots of feedback and trying to make things better. But I do think that getting information out there, and I know a lot of it has been on Facebook and social media, and I don't really think that's the best way to respond because it's only going to escalate. But some people have said like, move your trailer, it's in a terrible spot and it's too dangerous. And it's like, I don't think they understand that, you know, that was a spot that we were given by the city and paid for. And they're like, it's, you know, marked out for a reason. And it is marked out for a reason because it's a food truck based. So, you know, I just think getting some of that information out there would be really helpful. And, you know, we've tried to explain it to, you know, a lot of the community members that have come up, and some of them have been not super happy, but then we've explained what we know. But I think coming from the city would be helpful too.
I'd be happy to host something on the east end of town, and have the business owners of the food truck owners come and
That would be great, Katie.
talk about it and hopefully give a little ease to these people who are disgruntled by them parking there.
Is there something that could be like bullet points that could be put on the city website? So somebody goes.
It's on
It
there
is
already.
on there.
Yeah. And I just created a new page on our visit that's a food truck page that talks a little bit about the food truck rules and the food truck like posting thing. Wonder and I put something together, wrote something together and it's kind of stock because I've gotten like 6 emails from disgruntled folks. And so I just put a stock response out to respond to those things and those questions. So that's up on both the city website and on Visit.
Is there any reason, especially on Jada's talk, to think that this is racially motivated?
Gosh, I hope
I
not.
mean, I know it sucks to say that. but
Gosh, I
It's a
hope not.
reality, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean,
There
that's
were a
just
few
something that
comments
scares me.
about that
Really?
on Facebook,
Oh
like.
my God.
Yeah, it would,
Okay.
as a Idaho Springs Community Group Administrator, I did hide an awful lot of things that were considered hate speech. So, you know, this is a challenging time and people are in challenging energy. So the best that we can do is, as people that are involved and good ambassadors of this community, help encourage your neighbors to be good neighbors. And let's do our best. I'd love to schedule this East End meeting in May. Traditionally, we do them on Thursdays. How does May 14th land for the board? And specifically Katie.
I'm out of town that weekend, but we can still host it.
I don't really want to do it without you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
I
love
love
that.
that restaurant who's supporting the food trucks being.
How
here.
does the 20, if we could push it out one more, we could either, I would prefer, we could do it the 21st. Or are we feeling like we need to do this sooner and we pick a different day? Board,
I think the 21st would work.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, my kids have a talent show on the 7th.
Yeah.
So it's the week before.
and I would probably rather
and
steer away from the 7th just because of Argo's timeline.
Yeah, no, I think the 21st will give it enough time for everybody to calm down a little bit and then.
And then we can have a meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else on board, does the 21st work for you?
What time do we want to do it, 6?
We usually do that 6 is, yeah, we'll do that 6 to 7:30. I usually get there at 5 so that there's time for people to talk before. Mayor, you're good?
Oh, yeah.
Mayor's always so great at being there and being my sidekick at these events, so I really appreciate him.
Well, happy to be there.
All right, parking updates. We are going to be presenting a new update to city council on the 27th for parking. Specifically designed for the East End updates. This is going to include customer parking only signs during business hours. Instead of having like, these spots are free, these spots aren't, we're gonna just put up customer parking only for business hours signs for places like Marion's, the liquor store, a few other spots, correct, Marion?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, it's going to remove, there's some like 3-hour parking zone signs. We're gonna get rid of those and then making larger signs for the CRC park. And a few of the other, and the ball fields that are like designated for park participants only, so that we can make sure those signs are bigger, more readable, more clear, and make sure that everybody, knows that the parks are for park users only. Carla?
See, before you get too far off of the 21st, that is Memorial Day weekend, so that would be the Thursday of Memorial Day weekend.
The 21st?
Yeah. It's early this year, yeah.
It is the
Just to-
That's what I was just like, I think that's Memorial Day.
We're gonna lose some people.
I think for the people that can come, it would be great to just have it, because I don't think there's another great Thursday, unless the board wants to think about having, the nice thing about having it on Thursdays is traditionally there aren't city meetings that are happening on Thursdays. There, or Wednesdays,
That's also the graduation parade, at least in my calendar it is.
on the 21st.
Yeah, you might, maybe you changed it.
Oh, no. Carla's right. That is the graduation parade. So maybe we do want to look at a different day. How does everybody feel about Wednesdays?
I don't care. I mean, I normally have trivia on Wednesday nights, but that's usually canceled.
Would the 13th work, or would you think the 20th would be
The
better?
13th is 100% fine, yeah.
How, the rest of the board, 13th of May? Okay. I will pass the 13th of May around a few other calendars, and make sure, but we'll look at the 13th of May for that. Jada, just so you know, you did jump off when, I saw your chat. You did jump off. But we did talk about the food truck, and that you were totally a part of this community, and we really appreciate you. And we're gonna be hosting a community meeting, on the 13th. to address this and to talk through it. And then you and I can sit down, and really talk, talk through kind of the talking points, but we'd love to have you, and the other food truck owners on the 13th of May at Yards Tap House. And then we'll be sharing some updates as well. And I'm so sorry that you've been experiencing this level of frustration. She put a really long comment in the box, and I'll send that to the board for the board to review. But she's been having connectivity issues. So thank you, Jada. I acknowledge and see you, and we'll make sure the board reads your comment. Because I do think board members, it will be good for you guys to read what she's got to say. And I've been having conversations with her offline about this as well. Okay, let me copy this so I make sure that you guys get this before I use it. Okay, all righty. Any other questions about the parking updates or concerns about parking? The new parking rates are up. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback about the new parking rates. They seem to be working based off of the dashboard. We are seeing that longer stay time again. Our average transaction has gone up a little bit again. Not tons, but a little bit, 50 cents.
You know what the rates are?
Not off the top of my head, but I will, every business should have gotten a new rate card from, Visit or from Park Idaho Springs, that a new laminated rate card. If you have not, please let me know, and I will make sure that you get a new laminated rate card that has QR codes for all the lots and all the street parking. There is a different rate card for the East End than there is, or not rate, but QR code set. So you guys should have gotten a different flyer at both the yards places.
Okay, I mean, I have them hung up for people to scan and
Perfect.
do all the things, so.
Yep. So those have gone out and been updated, and if you guys have questions, just let me know and I'll make sure that Interstate gets to you. Update on budget, any questions or thoughts on that? We're pretty light on it right now because most of our money gets spent on events, which we haven't spent a ton yet. So, not ton of budget. Mayor and I have been talking a lot about I-70 and the decrease in I-70 traffic. It's down 20% traffic count numbers. It's pretty substantial.
Been 10 years since it's been this slow.
On I-70. So I think we're all feeling that. What we can say is that rock blasting will be very limited for the next 2 weeks and will be officially over the second week in May. Sweet. There will be a lot of press around that. CDOT and I-70 Coalition have committed to their own marketing around this. So they will be doing a bunch of press around the ending of the rock blasting holes, which is awesome because we'll just get beneficial side press from that. Everything else, most of the rest of the work on the I-70 project will be done offline. They'll be doing that bridge lift and all those things. There might be a few intermittent road closures, but most of those will be overnights and not during the day, and certainly not every day from 9 to 3. So, yes. So that's happening. You can see the fun new sales tax reports are continuing. Surprisingly, in my brain and mayor's too, we actually were only down 1% sales tax wise in February compared to the 7% down in January. So hoping to continue to see that increase through March, as we did a lot of marketing in March. Hopefully we'll continue to see that level out. As well as continuing to see that grow as we get into our busy season, which is summer. There's some arrivalist reports in the director's report that talk about it. Something that I didn't make into my director's report that I wanted to update you guys on is that Gary from Comba alerted me to an internship program at Colorado School of Mines. Colorado School of Mines has an outdoor education computer science program, of all things. Computer scientists focused on outdoor recreation. How interesting. Could we not be a more perfect candidate for this intern? It's a free intern program where we can apply to have an intern work on a project. For those of you that know, I'm working on a Virginia Canyon Mountain Park Visitor Management Plan and a data analytics platform. they can build it for us for free. So I applied, hopefully we win. Hopefully one of these cool Minds students really likes to ride bikes and is super excited and wants to come up here and work on data. They'll be able to take all of our placer data, all of our arrivalist data, our sales tax data, and Argo ridership data and build us a real-time updatable platform that will be able to show the impact from the dollars as well as visitor management flow. So the goal is to have this intern build this platform for us so that we can have an updatable real-time imagery of what that is looking like from a sense of these visitors in our system. So we'll see if we get awarded that. Again, it doesn't cost us anything. And one of the board members of COMBA is the teacher of outdoor recreation at Minds, and he has offered to help kind of facilitate that program for me. So it actually won't really like be a lot of lift or load for me besides providing them all the data. So that'll be really nice if we get that. So that's an awesome add-on, and hopefully we can continue to see improvements in that. Any questions on the director's report, board members or community members? You guys are always welcome to ask me questions too. Awesome. Okay. Now we have a presentation on the downtown master plan. Let's see, Neil and Cheney. You guys are welcome to unmute, share screen, all that jazz. There's Neil.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Perfect. Well, thanks for having us. Assuming you can also see this presentation as well.
Hopefully, yeah, yes, there we are.
Awesome. Like I said, thanks for having me. My name's Neil Ogden. I am with HDR Engineering and here to provide an update on the Downtown Master Plan, otherwise known as the Idaho Springs Mobility Hub program. So definitely want this to be kind of an open discussion, so feel free to jump in with any questions as we kind of go through this. But first, just want to hit kind of the primary topics. Want to remind folks of what this overall program is, then provide an update on what we've been working on, kind of where we're at, then dive into the first part of the project or the first phase of the project, talk about funding and operations of the project and program, and then next steps. So for folks who are not aware, the Downtown Master Plan or the Idaho Springs Mobility Hub is a program of improvements that the city's been working with Federal Highways, the Colorado Department of Transportation, and HDR Engineering on these 6 different components you see on the screen. So overall, the program is hitting these different pieces, where one is our intersection improvements, a proposed roundabout, really to tie the community similar to the exit 241 intersection or interchange. Then area 2, which we'll go into some more details in the next couple slides, actually transitions at that location as well as west of the intersection, and that is the mobility hub component of the project. Then we've got the component number 3, which is the parking structure. Number 4, which is improvements to the existing surface parking lots. 5, which is Idaho Mall, which is just reconstructing this to be more inviting. It's kind of a back door into the community. And then component 6, which is Minor Street, which is really formalizing Minor to be really more pedestrian friendly and open to vehicles during kind of the shoulder and winter season, and then pedestrians only during the summer. So that's the overall program that we've been working on. In terms of status and what we've been doing, where we're going with this. So we've been working on this for a little bit over a year, at least this piece of it. We went to 15% design late last summer, engaged a lot of the community in those conversations, made sure we're incorporating that input in the design. We had a formal review with Federal Highways, CDOT, and city staff on these designs. And then what we're working on now is advancing into what we call preliminary and intermediate design through 2026. So right now we're working on 30% design and hope to have that wrapping up in the next month or so. And then also completing the environmental process on this overall program through the end of 2026. Other key components on here, this is a substantial effort, a substantial project. So we're looking at an overall program cost of around $40 million. Now, obviously that changes depending on when this thing gets built. And I will say the city has not identified funding for the entire piece of it, but definitely looking at opportunities for finding that funding to make this whole thing a reality. Tied to that is the first phase, and we'll get into more details here in a second. But the first phase we are proposing is funded by CDOT Senate Bill 267 funds. So this is the Mobility Hub component of the project in area number 1, and you'll see 1 and 2 essentially. And this would be the first phase as the rest of the project is, as the team continues to look for additional funding for the rest of the project. So diving into the details on the first phase, so what you see on the screen here is what we're proposing that's funded by the CDOT Senate Bill 267 funds. So this is something that is, the first phase is definitely a joint effort between the city, Colorado Department of Transportation, and something that we're working towards an agreement in terms of operations, solidifying the funding agreement for this project and getting this thing built. So the idea is the city is administering the design through, again, intermediate into final, and then they'd actually be building this project as well. So the idea here is really trying to maximize operations, make it a mobility hub for all transit users, so regional, local, cross-state uses. And again, this is the first piece of the project as the rest of it continues to be developed. So what you see here is on the north side, the two mobility hub components with the parking, and then the direct access to transit stops on the ramps of I-70 here. And then we're also looking at pedestrian improvements between those locations over the State Highway 103 bridge to make that a safe and compatible connection. And then just last couple pieces on this is definitely working to incorporate additional EV infrastructure. And then, as we talked about the rest of this program, this is the first piece, and it doesn't preclude any of those other future pieces of that. In terms of funding and operations, so again, we've been working on this project for over a year now. Really have been engaging with CDOT over the last few months, just really getting into the details in terms of how this works, how it's going to get funded, and really arrived at a good scope consensus, which is what I just shared on the previous slide for this first phase. So we're in a good spot working with that team. I don't think I hit this earlier, but the downtown master plan and mobility hub program is funded through a federal highways raise grant. So again, we're advancing all of that under that grant program. So the 30%, the 60%, and then the NEPA or the environmental process over this summer. And then the idea is once that's complete, we would advance the final design and then into construction for that first phase of the project. As part of that, we'd definitely be working with the city team, CDOT team to really outline operations and roles and responsibilities. But it's definitely something that's going to be shared, based on right of way and agencies best prepared to operate and maintain different pieces of that project, which will be captured in this intergovernmental agreement. And in terms of next steps, we do plan on, like I said, we engage community at 15% milestone of that early level design. We're advancing into the 30 and 60 over the summer. We do have continued stakeholder events, so planned at 30 and 60. But we have a Meet the Designers event for tomorrow that at exactly where you're sitting in the council chambers. And if there is an interest, there's definitely still some time slots where you can sign up for a half hour and come talk to me and the rest of the design team on the improvements, and we can get your input. You can see the additional details on design, and you can have conversations with the team. So that is tomorrow, 9 to 2, and I think Sadie can probably share that link if anyone's interested.
I can indeed.
And then just kind of wrapping this up here, again, we're going through 60% with that raise grant throughout the summer into early fall, working with CDOT on the approval and permitting processes to tie into the interstate there in the state highway system, working with the I-70 corridor, or under the I-70 record of decision and that programmatic EIS to make sure the context-sensitive design is included in that project, working through the environmental process, and then going into final design, and the target is starting construction in 2027. So a lot of work to do still to get there, but that is the goal at this point. And I think that was all I have. So open it up for questions or comments at this point.
That's different. This is the high level. So the first question, tomorrow, if you want to meet with the design team, that's going to be more specific to the Minor Street design and kind of talking through more specifics of the blocks, especially for the business owners and the property owners within the downtown district, as well as if you do have questions on the mobility hub and parking design on that end. Obviously, that's very different than the designs everybody has seen before with the mobility hub and the roundabout that would be where the current wrap shop is. This is very different design. So if you have questions about that or want to see the specific Minor Street design and how that might affect your storefront or your business front or your business back, that's what the meeting tomorrow is designed for. Any other questions for Neil, kind of on the high level of what this means, or the mayor, since he's here?
Overall timing.
Overall timing, Mayor.
Okay, I think we're gonna have an agreement with CDOT I believe in May is pretty conservative. I wouldn't be surprised, Neil, I don't know how you feel about this, but I would not at all be surprised to us have some kind of agreement with them in the next few weeks, but I think conservatively May would be realistic. Because they had committed $6.3 million to them. But let's not forget, they had committed $6.3 million to a much bigger project, to a $40 million project. So the question that really bears asking is, are the funds still there? Even though this is pared down? And fortunately, the funds are still there. But some things remain, like how many spots? How much electrification were you looking for? These were things that we needed to talk about. So I think we'll have an agreement with them in May. I think it's a pretty conservative estimate.
Assuming that happens, when would you expect to be shovel ready?
Well, I think, Neil, once we have the agreement in place, I think at least the mobility hub for CDOT and a slip lane and such could probably start happening pretty quick, don't you think?
Agreed. I think we, like I mentioned, we have to work through intermediate final design, work through the environmental clearances, but I think that the target would be into summer, fall of 2027 for shovels in the ground.
Yeah, no, that's what I was hoping you were gonna say, but, so it's coming on pretty quick.
And that would be, for those of you, that would be improvements on the exit 240 and kind of where the bus staying lot currently sits and the space where the laundromat and garage, yeah, are currently. So that would be those two parcels of land and the RTD bus staying lot.
Yeah, and it would not include the roundabout. That by itself is like in the vicinity of $1.8 million. And right now that just is not in the budget. Not real critical, but we would like that ultimately.
But it would
to be
include
part-
some intersection improvements.
Oh, yeah, it would.
And sidewalk improvements.
That's right.
And pedestrian flow improvements. To
Yeah,
that
like,
intersection.
like CDOT has projected a slip lane where the bus would come off of I-70 and would just continue west. And it basically, think of it as almost like a
Extra lane.
yeah, like an extra lane when you're getting on heading west on I-70. There would be an extra lane that the bus would slip into, and there would be some type of a covered platform. I'm not talking about four walls, but a covered platform where folks wouldn't necessarily have to stand in the rain while they're waiting for the bus. It'd be more comfortable, and it would certainly check some boxes for CDOT where they could have some heavy electrification because it's a good spot to top off your electric vehicle battery before you take that log run up to the tunnels. And there are obviously some spaces for CDOT and their transportation hub, but then the trade-off is we've got a lot more prime parking, frankly, where right now would just be an extension of our existing parking lot that runs behind, say, Tommyknockers, for example. It would just be, there would be more parking spaces where the laundromat currently is, and also where, the garage, and then that house that the city owns, I call the Bardoni House, would also be part of the land that would be a lot more parking in there. And it's a natural extension of our existing parking lot. I think it'd be very well served. And one thing, I don't mean to get off topic, but it should be a concern. We don't want to lose the only laundromat in the county. So I think we would have a very concerted effort to find and relocate that laundromat, because we really need to retain that business. The garage, the gentleman has retired, and it's currently only more recently been occupied by a glass and gutter company, I think that would be relatively easy to relocate. But the precedent really is not to lose the only laundromat, because even if you have laundry facilities at your home, a lot of us go ahead and say launder large items like comforters in a larger, more commercial machine. So rest assured, we really are not gonna rest until that's relocated somewhere here in the county. We don't lose it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Neil. Any
One
questions?
sec. I just had a question about like the funding piece of it.
Sure.
And so the overall project is the 40 million, that's those like 1 through 6, right? So if we're kind of sort of doing 1, doing 2, what's left to raise for 3, 4, 5, and 6? Like,
Well, it's about $33.5 million.
okay, so it's just that the 6, okay, so we
Yeah,
just
just
subtract
that
the 6
6.
foot right from it, and that's what's left, is
But-
34 million.
But
Okay.
you know, we did breathe a sigh of relief, like I said, because CDOT putting up 6.3 million was understood as part of an overall much larger project. So now it's only their money.
Right. That's
So
what I
we're-
was- yeah,
so
wondering too.
We're not bonding,
Yeah.
because remember, initially, the city was also putting in 6.3 million.
Mhm.
Well, we don't have that just laying around. We were gonna have to bond. And that would be the citizens paying debt service for that other 6.3 million. So what I think was a big step here is that CDOT 6.3 is secured and we don't have to match it. So that's really a very nice turn of events for us.
So there's 34 million to go, right?
Yeah.
Just 34 million to go, guys. No biggie, no biggie. Thank you, Neil. Any other questions for Neil? Thanks, Neil. So again, if you guys want to get on those design meetings for tomorrow, just let me know. There are some spots available. So if you want to jump on those, some of you are already scheduled, so it'll be a good way to see. And again, not the last time to get your word in on design, but one of the last kind of opportunities if you have feelings about your storefront or Minor Street in general, especially, or Idaho Mall, this is kind of your opportunity to speak up. Okay, okay, so now we have a few minutes. I moved roundtable and presentations just so Neil could get his time. I wanna go ahead and talk around. Steve?
Business has been a little slow. We're excited to get the street built.
If not, Kate?
Same. I mean, we raised our menu prices at the beginning of the year like we do every year, it's inflation. So it doesn't seem like our numbers are that down, but volume wise, it's. Yeah, weekends are okay, but.
Plan?
I mean, we're still strange outliers that we keep growing, but you know, not as much as we kind of expected to. So I think that's, but yeah, hoping for a good summer.
Pretty slow, hoping for a little bit more as the living increase.
Yes. Boosting that. Rose, do you have anything on tours? Like
Definitely struggling, I guess, mostly construction wise. It's obviously a challenge, but not doing as bad as I projected. So that's what it was.
for those that don't know, the mill tours are definitely still open, as people like to continue to always remind people. Kara?
Yeah, we've been, definitely retail's been, slower than last year. Looking forward to wedding season and looking forward to if anyone wants flowers for their business.
That's a good.
And they're coming on the 21st of May, so, I have these and then everyone got the email too, so if you're interested in, adding to the city delivery and getting some flowers, we're happy to help you with that.
And again, this gives your business access to wholesale pricing on the flowers, which is really nice. It's a really good price for the amount of flowers that you get, and Tara has worked very hard. We've worked with this company and they've always provided really excellent flowers. And this year, a little more drought resistant things.
And I'm volunteering too, that's not to do with business.
No,
No. Okay, thank you for that.
Tara's not making any money. She's helping me, thank goodness. So again, if you want flowers, great time. And then Tara and I, of course, will be reaching out to everybody soon. If you want to volunteer for planting, Chris has lovely volunteered. Planting day is always so much fun. Don't get sunburned though, because you definitely get sunburned on flower day stuff. Flower day will be reaching out for volunteers as well. All right, in the back section, I know I got some people here that might have some additional updates or want to say something. Anybody in the crowd, off the table?
Yeah, I just wanted to come here, for Carlson PTA. We're looking for some donations. Because, field day, we're gonna have, Denver Health is bringing in 144 helmets for bike riding. And we're looking to cover the rest of the students, so every kid will get a helmet. So if anyone can donate, that'd be great.
How many kids?
We have 275 kids. So,
And they have 180, I was just at the meeting for the after-school program. They have 180, so they need $950 to cover the rest of the helmets, which they're getting a very good deal on. And also they want to have not just boxed lunches at field day, they wanna do hamburgers and hot dogs, so they need volunteers, possibly to borrow a grill, right?
yeah, and then food, drinks.
yes.
Anything anyone wants to donate.
And the school is gonna provide some of that food because it's like a normal day where they're feeding all the elementary kids. And I'm only stepping in because just 20 minutes ago down the road, they were like, go help CJ because we learned all this information. So it's gonna be a great event and
What day is field day?
May 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as we can get any donations, so we can order those helmets and get them.
CJ, you just sent me an email, didn't you?
Yes.
Awesome,
yeah.
cool. I'll make sure it gets into the newsletter to release it out to the rest of the businesses, but if anybody, you have a little flyer for folks?
Letters for everyone and
They're
then,
also making up something, so it's the information that goes out is unified. So they're working on putting together like a flyer about field day because they want all the parents to be invited this year, and they're gonna have like a little area where if it's an after-school related thing, you can have a table. Because they're trying to get parents in and trying to get buses for the elementary school from Georgetown.
yeah, we don't, so the 900 she mentioned doesn't include getting a bus for the Georgetown kiddos. So we'll need, quite a bit more to get a bus to get the Georgetown kiddos all the way to the high school.
Wait, is field day at the high school this year? It's always at the high school apparently.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be at the football field, but now there's, so now they do it over at the new football field.
I'm just learning too, Katie.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
it's during testing, so the high schoolers can't participate, so.
it's just the elementary school kids, but we have King Murphy, they have a bus to get there, and Carlson has buses to get there. We just need to get Georgetown covered.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. All right, anyone else in the back? Carla?
So wearing my early care and learning hat, I'm hoping that most of you, some of you received the email for Monday from 9 to noon. We're doing a work session. Epic is coming in. And we really, really, really want business owners. We've got city officials throughout the county coming in that are aware of the early care and learning needs for our infants through toddlers, and really talking about solutions and creative ways that the county can address this problem. So we use the tax money, but if you haven't gotten it, I've heard that some of those emails, they didn't come from me, they came from Amber Troutman, I believe. Some of those emails went to junk mail, so if you didn't get an email, then we really would like business owners there. But it's specifically, we've got experts coming in to run the work session. There's gonna be breakfast there from Timberline. And we really want input on creative ways that the county commissioners will be there. I said elected officials across the board will be there. But really working through creative brainstorming ways on how we can fund early care and learning for our infants and toddlers in Clear Creek County. So.
And it'll be at
that's
the
Monday.
Majestic.
It's at the Majestic, 9 to noon. We really like an RSVP. So if you didn't get that email and you're interested, tag Sadie and she'll get it to me, or just if you got my email, tag me. And I will, and I'm part of that board, so I can make that happen.
Awesome. Thanks, Carla. Anyone else in our back audience got anything to say?
Okay.
Okay, Chris.
I was just gonna say, like, I know we're down too, but it seems like I see us doing the groundwork, but there seems like there's so many things out of our control, especially at federal level. That's just taking us, like, is the 20% traffic really due to that construction, or is it because traveling is no longer in people's budgets?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say, I think
Or
we
because
are
no, gas is expensive.
doing
There's
the right
so many
stuff.
different things, yeah.
But that's a big, that's our pep talk. It's like, we're doing the right stuff.
We really
This is
are.
beyond our control.
I thank you for saying that, Chris. I also think it's really important to say, like, for a lot of things, we are the solution to many of the problems because we are an accessible, from a financial perspective, we're an accessible place. We hosted an open house at Argo Inn and Suites last week. And for those of you that have never checked out their new remodeled Creekside lots, I highly recommend you stop by and ask for a tour. They're amazing.
They are.
I was highly impressed. And they're, again, approachable. So we have beautiful Club Hotel who's got gorgeous rooms.
Yep.
And then we have an entire Creekside, only lodging probably anywhere near here. You can literally walk out of some of those rooms and walk right down to the creek. So like for under $900 for a weekend, you can come up here and you can stay, you can eat out, you can go to do amazing experiences and you can shop. There isn't really anywhere else in the Colorado mountains that you can do that for. So we are really that affordable solution. So again, a lot of my marketing is going to be talking about that accessible, easy mountain escape. These are why we're hiring influencers, because they can talk about it in a way that's like that first person mentality, which marketing says that's what people are relating to these days. They aren't relating to someone's paid big fancy ad telling you to come visit them. They're listening to Emily on the street saying, oh man, this was so affordable and so wonderful. And even though we're paying her, they don't know that. Or no, they do know that, but it's just more approachable to see. And so we are working on it, and thank you. It is so hard right now because so much of it is without our control. And I do think we're not down as, you know, I'm sitting in a group with tourism leaders from across the state who are in destinations that are significantly suffering more than we are. So while I know we are hurting and I know it's not great right now, there are places that are struggling way more than we are. I mean, there's some places down a lot, and we're managing to stay at least in the not so horribly a lot. So I really appreciate all of your guys' effort, your support. For the new faces, anytime you guys want to talk and figure out how to get more involved or get support, I'm always here, open door. I mean, I'm busy, so don't always expect to walk into my door, but you guys know where to get me, book time and do that. Any other open floor comments or questions, Mayor?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to compliment this board and their effort on getting a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, I am really impressed with the individuals that have stepped up and small businesses that have really bent over backwards to make the marketing effort a success. We've talked about many of these in this room. But, you know, just a couple to touch on, and sometimes it goes like they're unsung heroes, but I don't know if you noticed, the billboard sign is still up. But the funny thing is, we haven't paid for that sucker since November. So that's kind of an expensive proposition. And literally, I'm not exaggerating, we've got more free months for the billboard than we ever paid for.
It's true.
And I don't think I'm too far off, but I think we got about as much free television with Fox 31 as we paid for. Isn't that's pretty close too, right?
Or more. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of free stuff from our media partners has been really spectacular.
Yeah.
They really are calling us out. They really are doing their best to support us. So we have really good partnerships and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, so
Thank you all.
it's definitely not gone unnoticed. I watched the Bills like a hog. And I've just really been impressed. So thank you
Does.
for all of your
Question
effort.
every bill I submit. Okay, so board, I just need one action item before we close, and that is if we want to go ahead and do the 500 investment into the pilot social media program and launch a co-op structure. Motion from Steve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Katie seconds. All in favor, board?
Aye.
All right, awesome, guys. I appreciate it.
When do you think the
Remember-
co-op will be ready to go? When do you think that opportunity will be ready?
Well, I'm gonna launch it by the time I launch my newsletter. So I have it Matt and I kind of went through the structure hoping that you guys would approve it because Steve and I were really hoping that it would work out well for it. So my goal is to launch that co-op program by the newsletter so that people, just those first two options, the 250 and the 500 buy-in choices. And then we'll test it out and see how it goes.
Awesome.
Amy?
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course you can.
I wanted to thank you guys for approving the money for the sponsorship of the rec center. So I haven't seen you since you did that, and it's very meaningful and very helpful, and thank you very, very, very much on behalf of the rec center.
Thank you. All right, guys, next meeting is May 18th at 2, are adjourned at 3:32.